The end of a saga. Ryan Garcia has officially received his punishment. 1 year suspension from boxing.
Ryan Garcia, he wanted that win, man, by any means necessary.
The fight is officially a no contest, and Devin Haney gets his O back.
He screen recorded, changing his IG bio back to 31-0.
And we had the return of El Divino Rafael Espinoza as he took on undefeated Chirino Sanchez.
They say that you get 10% better when you become a world champion. That is the case with Divino Espinoza. He's a dangerous man at the 126.
I can see what they're trying to do. They're diving into the actual traditional side of boxing. Amir Cashman Anderson is a 10-time national champion in the USA. He's fought internationally. We're talking about a legitimate prospect.
It shows influencer boxing is the future, man.
Welcome back to another episode of the Last Round Podcast, where we cover everything from traditional boxing to influencer boxing and everything in between. In today's episode, we'll be going over Rafael Espinoza's TKO win over Chirino Sanchez, as well as giving our official predictions for Bam Rodriguez as he takes on El Gallo Estrada and Teofimo Lopez as he takes on Stephen Claggett. Lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe to the episode, and make sure to join us on our Discord. Link is down in the description below. Now, diving into the episode, this weekend, or on Friday actually, Top Rank hosted a fight, a whole event, and we had the return of Espinoza, or El Divino Rafael Espinoza, as he took on undefeated Chirino Sanchez. And Espinoza was coming off a huge underdog win over Robesi Ramirez last year in December in what was considered fight of the year for many people. I mean, you saw Rafael Espinoza get dropped in the fifth, only to come back and drop Robesi in the final round and end up winning the fight. So he made his return, or his first official title defense for featherweight. And he looked incredible. This Mexican star, 6'1". Imagine being 6'1".
At 126?
Yeah, fighting that featherweight. That is insane. I don't know how you can even cut that much, or I don't know how you're even that lean, or you can even make that weight for that height. But he does it. He defended his title successfully against Chirino, who was a very tough guy. But I mean, Rafael Espinoza showed that he's not. He has his own skills. He brings something to the table, and he looked very impressive this past weekend.
Yeah, Divino completely dominated from the first round. He was applying crazy amount of pressure on Chirino. And it really showed how strong Espinoza is. They say that you get 10% better when you become a world champion. And I think that is true. That is the case with Divino Espinoza. I mean, he looked his best ever. He looked strong in there. He looked confident. His timing was on point. The first knockdown that he scored against Chirino, I think it was around the second or third round. He caught him beautifully with an uppercut, a perfectly timed uppercut, dropped Chirino. It was a really good showing by Espinoza, and I mean, the Mexico's got another world champion, really strong world champion who has a very high chance of unifying and going undisputed at 126.
You said that when someone becomes a champion, they gain 10% of increase of whatever. It looks like he got 20% because I was very surprised with his performance. I was not expecting that at all. To be honest, it kind of looked like a mismatch, really. But if you look at the records, the other guy wasn't defeated.
Or he had one loss. One loss. My bad. One loss.
That's true. One loss, and most of the wins were by knockout. Yeah. So it was against two power punchers, both from Mexico, and yet Divino made it look like it was super easy. Like it looked like a sparring. It looked like the other guy wasn't even at his level. So, just for me, my personal opinion, this guy is really ready to take on some of the other champions for sure.
Yeah, Espinoza Divino, he has very sneaky power. I mean, he dropped Chirino 3 times in that fight. Another thing that's really impressive about El Divino is two things. First off is his punch combination. Not only does he go up top, but he goes bottom. He's able to mix it up. And for being 6'1", fighting at that weight, I mean, for him to go down to the body and his combination, 4 or 5 punch combinations, it's very impressive with his sneaky power included. But the thing that I'm really surprised about him is his timing. That uppercut in the first round that he timed Chirino, absolute beauty. The fact that he was able to land the uppercut while twisting his head at the same time to avoid or to soften the blow was incredible.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes Divino special is his unique frame. I mean, 126, 6'1". you're not gonna find you don't find guys like that at that weight class. And he also has a very unique fighting style as well. I mean, he throws a lot of punches, head to the body, high volume, puts pressure on you, and he's a tall guy, but he doesn't use that, actually. He likes going on the inside and trying to bang with you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's a dangerous man at the 126, and with his unique frame, I think he has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's really interesting. A guy who is so tall, he doesn't use his reach, his height to his advantage. I feel like he used that a little bit more, but I mean, it works for him, so might as well keep going.
I mean, it's that Mexican style, right?
That's right.
You know, he's from Mexico. That Mexican style is just going forward, throwing hella punches.
Yeah.
He also, the Mexican style, because he doesn't move his head. So I mean, every Mexican's weakness is their defense, and Espinoza's no stranger.
Exception.
Yeah, no stranger to that. Weakness from a Mexican, but my only issue would be working on defense. I mean, Chirino was able to land good shots on him. You know, he landed flush shots before the knockdown in the first round, and I was like, damn, like Espinoza, he's really confident in his chin, which is why he allows it to happen. But once you're fighting at an elite level like that, you need to at least, work on ways around, or just work on your defense. Work maybe moving the head or high guard even at points. But, I mean, he's really confident in his chin, so I don't know if he's going to try to even work on his defense at all.
Yeah, that's definitely one critique. That's probably the flaw in his game is his defense. He doesn't have the best defense. He was getting caught a little bit with some punches that I don't think he should have gotten caught with. So, that might work sometimes, and once you start going into the higher levels, we saw against Robeisy Ramirez, he was able to drop him and damn near get him out of there. I think Divino was saved by that bell. So yeah, get the defense working, get some high guard, step backs, do something so you don't get hit with those punches.
I think for me, like if I was on his team, I would be like, if you really don't want to work on defense or have too much head movement or whatever, like take that step back. Like if he takes that step back, no one's going to be able to reach him at all. Some of the other champions, like they don't even, except Ray Vargas, all the other ones shouldn't be able to reach him.
Yeah, that's the next point I was actually gonna make. The featherweight division in boxing right now is really interesting because
so
I mean you have Rafael El Divino Espinoza standing at 6'1", and you have Nick Ball standing at 5'2", which is like a huge 11-inch disparity between both champions. You have El Venado Lopez standing at 5'4", and you have Ray Vargas standing at 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
So the height disparities between the champions is insane. Seeing the matchup between Nick Ball and Espinoza would be hilarious to see.
Yeah, like what? It's so crazy. There's a foot difference between world champions at 126. That should not happen.
That's crazy. Like that's insane. I don't know how. First, I don't know how Espinoza even makes that weight, which is insane for a guy like that. But you said, I think it was you who said that Mexico has maybe a new star, because I mean, the last star we saw who was kind of like that was Navarrete, El Vaquero. We started at 122, came out of nowhere, upset Dogbe, and then beat him twice, and then since then he's been on a whole collision course until 135, until where he was finally defeated again. But yeah, Divino, out of nowhere, he showed up against Robeisy Ramirez, pulled off the big upset in the Fight of the Year contender, and now he's looking practically unbeatable at this point. So I think it is time for him to maybe step it up against another champion, maybe taking on Ray Vargas, who in my opinion seems to be the weakest champion at the moment. But I mean, he has a lot of options. I mean, Robeisy's eyeing a rematch with him. People are calling for him to fight Shushu, Bruce Carrington. Very big.
Are people saying that, or is it just Carrington that's saying that?
No, just people online. Yeah, people online are saying because I mean, Bruce Carrington, Shushu, he's an impressive prospect. He's very good. People were saying they reminds him of a young Terrence Crawford in the way that he fights. And he does have his skills, but I mean, I think it's a bit too early for him. He has not stepped up to a level like that, and I feel it would be a very big mistake for Top Rank to put Bruce Carrington that early. It was like the same people saying that Bruce Carrington would be a good matchup for Naoya Inoue.
Yeah.
No.
I was seeing, there's some people going, they even had him, I think, at the fights. He was commentating, Bruce Carrington, which is actually funny to see.
Yeah.
It was very interesting that Top Rank put him, on the commentating table, and he was there. But, yeah, he's a impressive fighter. Bruce Carrington, we're not hating on him on no means. He's a very good fighter. He's a prospect. I think he has around 10 or 12 fights. He's still young, But like, let's not talk about putting him up against El Divino or putting him up against Naya Inoue. I mean, we're talking about he's fighting guys at this level, and then just let's throw him to the top of the mountain. No, let's let him develop. Let's let him get more fights, get more experience in the ring, because if he goes up against Divino, even what's the other champion? Nick Ball or Venal Lopez.
Oh, no.
Even if he goes up to Venal Lopez, I mean, he's gonna get whooped. Like, let's be honest here. He is still way too young to be stepping up to the elite level. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people actually. They're on his side. He's getting a pretty good fan base, but it's still too early.
Still too early. He's not there yet.
Yeah.
No, it takes time, but I mean, as of right now, we're in Espinoza's title reign at the moment, so successfully defended his WBO World Championship belt, and is now looking to cook and do something else at 126. So very impressive performance from El Divino. A new Mexican star is emerging at the moment, which is very good to see. I want to move on a little bit to a big drama that happened this weekend, or not this week, or this past week.
The biggest drama,
the end of a saga. Ryan Garcia has officially received his punishment. And it results in a 1-year suspension from boxing for his positive PED test. And not only that, he takes a big L because first off, this man, he came in overweight to the weigh-ins, right? And then he had to pay extra money towards Devin Haney. And now he has to forfeit $1.1 million to Golden Boy, which I assume Golden Boy is some percentage is gonna go to Devin Haney. So Devin Haney probably made more money overall in the grand scheme of things compared to Ryan Garcia, and I think $10K towards the commission as well. But I think one of the interesting things that we also found was that supposedly in the findings in the investigation that they did, Ryan Garcia also tested positive for Ostarine in the third sample, and as well he also was found with an IV usage after the weigh-ins, which is a huge no-no in combat sports. Like, bro, come on. Mm-hmm. So Ryan Garcia had a double whammy, triple whammy, quadruple whammy. This whole saga was insane for him, man. This is insane, but he's now officially suspended. The fight is officially a no contest, and Devin Haney gets his O back.
Devin Haney's still undefeated,
He's
man.
undefeated. Hey, bro, let's go.
He's so happy, bro. Devin Haney's just talking shit to all the haters that were telling him anything. I saw a video of him. He screen recorded changing his IG bio back to 31-0. He's like, ha ha ha, bitch. It was so funny to see. Good for him, I guess. He's undefeated. He likes that. He likes to keep his O. But I think the main thing for me that's on my mind is the fact that Ryan Garcia, all his fans are still backing up Ryan Garcia. Like, it's kind of crazy to see how much support he still has, even though he just confirmed he used PEDs. He also did an IV, which is kind of interesting because he was 3 pounds over. It's like he wasn't even that dehydrated. I guess he's a heavy boy. But he used an IV, and then he cheated. He has a 1-year suspension. He has to pay with like $1 million to all the damages, and the people are still backing him up. Like, what's happening? Are they brainwashed, or like, did Ryan Garcia cast a spell on the world? I don't know what's going on, but he is still at an all-time popularity.
Yeah, I think those are just his fans. Those are his diehard fans. This reminds me of a situation where Julio Cesar Chavez, when he fought Oscar De La Hoya for the very first time, Chavez has sustained like a cut in his eye or whatever, and he said he blamed the loss with Oscar with that cut. Mm-hmm. And then that was one thing, and his fans were like, "Oh yeah, Oscar, you didn't beat him. He got cut or whatever, he got damaged." And then there was other times where this was towards the end of his Chavez's career, but also saying that he had like brujeria done on him and stuff like that, and his fans would still believe him. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're just super fans.
I just didn't know that Ryan Garcia was loved like that.
I think it's because the whole build up to the fight, he was considered crazy, a lunatic, and for him to because let's look at the fight again. It was an ass whooping. I'm telling you, right? It was an ass whooping, and for him to win, let's put that in quotation now, for him to win in that devastating manner against Devin Haney. People were turning into big believers. They're like, oh, this man, his word is credible. He said all this crazy stuff, but yet he still claimed he was going to win, and he did it in grand fashion. So, they attached to him in that essence. So I feel like that played a huge role. And even after the whole pet scandals, Ryan Garcia kept very vocal on Twitter, on X, and claiming that I've been framed and stuff like that. And if people if what he was saying that he was gonna beat Devin Haney prior to the fight came to truth, then people were like, then he's telling the truth about being framed and stuff like that. So I think something along those lines is what kind of made his fans still back him up even after all the big controversy.
I think the performance definitely plays a big aspect into it. A lot of people there's so much comments hating on Devin Haney. Is like, shut up, you couldn't get rid of that hook. Take the whooping like a man and stop being a crybaby. Like, just because of how badly he got his ass kicked, people are like, yeah, Ryan Garcia, let's go. But it's just so funny to me because, if we look back like 4 years ago, Ryan Garcia had so much haters. Like, a lot of people, he was popular, of course. He was very big on social media. But a lot of people said, he's just a pretty boy. He a TikToker. There was a lot of the boxing community didn't take him well. But the sentiment has completely changed now. He is a very well-liked guy. He still has a lot of fans. I wonder what's he gonna do now? He's suspended for 1 year, so he can't fight anymore. Is he just gonna become a personality, like a media personality,
or a stand-up comedian?
Or a professional poker player.
Player. Like, what is he? How's he gonna stay relevant now?
I feel like he's gonna become more of a personality. I think he's gonna. Regardless, he's already one of the most, if not the most polarizing boxing figure today. So if he can't box, which is what he's known for, then might as well venture off and do other things while he's suspended. And my only issue is that he's retired, so even after suspension he may never even come back.
He tried to beat them to the punch.
It's like saying I quit when you're gonna get fired.
It's like, buddy, you're out. Like, don't say that.
They knew his team settled for that. They settled for the team. So if he was innocent, then why did they settle? So
he didn't even try to fight it.
I don't know.
I'm sure if they would have tried to fight it, the commission would have pried even deeper, and we would have probably found even more suspect stuff. It just came into light, this IV stuff. That is a big no-no. Like,
I think there's video of it, no?
Is there?
I'm pretty sure. I think there's video. Don't quote me. I think there is video on that, though.
So it's crazy. This whole situation, there's so much unknown. There's probably some more stuff behind the scenes that we still don't even know about. But I think Ryan Garcia just wanted... He wanted that win, man. He, by any means necessary, he wanted to beat Devin Haney.
It's because he had to win. He had to win. He was coming off a loss, or his last big fight was against Tank, and he lost, and people called him a quitter. And this was his second big fight. He needed that win, to do something. My only issue is, like you said, a lot of people are hating on Devin Haney, this and that, even after the whole overturning of the fight. My big issue would be, though, is how is Devin Haney going to physically come back from that fight? Because overall the fight didn't happen, essentially, right? But the thing that stays is that whooping. He took, like I said, I've mentioned it before, he took a beating, a heavy damage, and for a fighter to take a beating like that, especially against a fighter who was a big cheater, essentially, ped user and then overweight and stuff like that. How much of a toll is that gonna take on Devin Haney? He's already chinny. He's gonna be even more chinny now. Is he gonna be able to react well to punches? There's a lot of questions for Devin Haney. He himself said he's gonna take a break as well, and then have the rematch with Ryan Garcia next year. But I think it's a good idea for Devin Haney to take a little break. He's done a lot for. He's only 25. And he's been an undisputed champion at 135. He's fought Lomachenko, now Ryan Garcia. He's had some pretty big fights against former champions as well. So I think it's a good idea for him to maybe just chill out a little bit, relax, and then get your body back, give it some rest, and then bounce back when you feel like it's ready.
Another thing, that's like the physical aspect of like the whooping that he got, but also the mental aspect. We're talking about everyone, all the boxers are like, oh, Ryan Garcia just has a hook, one trick pony, man. You got nothing else. You don't got no boxing fundamentals. You're just a one trick. You're nothing. for Ryan to do that to him, it's like, damn, am I really like that? You know, maybe he's having a little midlife crisis. Also, the fact that all the fans are on Garcia's side. Everyone's still hating on him, even though it came out. He's probably going crazy. Like, what the hell do I gotta do? Like, why are they still hating on me?
Yeah, not only that, but speaking on that mental, maybe like another aspect of that is like PTSD. Maybe he might be a little bit gun shy as well. You know, sort of like how Deontay Wilder, you know, after the trilogy that he had with Tyson Fury, you know, kind of wasn't the same.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. A lot of factors that could contribute to whether or not Devin Haney bounces back or not, but only time will tell. I mean, I don't know how long he's gonna decide to take a break, but hopefully he takes a pretty good break. I think he deserves it well.
Enjoy your holiday.
Yeah, essentially, enjoy your holiday, brother. So that was the whole end of the saga, end of the whole drama storyline between, for now, I guess, between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, which I think it's a very good thing that it's over, because I was getting tired of it.
Hey, it was entertaining.
It was entertaining. But let's move on straight to this next weekend. You know, we have two big fights this weekend, but the big one I'm mostly interested is the showdown between Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada as he takes on Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Now, this fight it's very entertaining to me, or very interesting to me, more in the aspect for Jesse Rodriguez. I mean, Jesse has been Bam has been training or sparring against five-time world champion El Chocolatito, and they've sparred not only once, not even twice, but three separate occasions for this camp against El Gallo, which I think is the perfect sparring partner for a fight against El Gallo Estrada. And I mean, look, I wish I was there watching those spars, man, because I mean,
top quality.
That's
sparring.
quality. Yeah, that's the type of sparring that are like pay-per-view worthy.
Yes.
Like, those are great sparring. So Bam Rodriguez has, you know, he's an undefeated fighter. They're fighting for the WBC and Ring Magazine at the super flyweight, I believe. So Bam Rodriguez, I mean, he's beaten Cuadras. He's beaten what's his name? What's the
Sonny Edwards?
Sonny Edwards, but I'm talking about the old
guy?
the four kings at that weight. It was Cuadras, Estrada, Chocolatito, and Sarang
Visai.
Sarang Visai, yeah. So he's beating Cuadras, Sarang Visai, and now he's aiming towards El Gallo Estrada. And I mean, if he's able to get those three, beat them, Chocolatito, because Chocolatito is set to return in July.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on Top Rank.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
So Bam Rodriguez seems to be on the hunt. You know, he's searching for these old legends, and he's one by one picking them apart. And he has El Gallo Estrada, who, I mean, 44 fights, man, with 3 losses and 28 of those wins by way of knockout. He's a good rate. We're talking about a Mexican legend, and many people considered top 10 pound for pound for a very long time. So does he still got it? That's the big question that's gonna be asked.
Yeah, I really love this fight. I mean, Bam Rodriguez is a phenomenal fighter, up and coming rising star in the 115 division. 115. Yeah. He has all the momentum behind him, and he's going up against a legend of that division, El Gallo Estrada. I mean, he's been just at the top of boxing, at the top of that division for like so many years. So he's just a staple in that division. So I think it's a perfect shot for Bam. And honestly, I think I'm looking at this fight. I'm looking at this fight as a passing of the torch. I think Bam Rodriguez has all the momentum, has the youth, and has the skills to dethrone El Gallo Estrada and take up the mantle as the next generation Mexican champion that's going to rule 115, 118, any division that Bam wants for the coming years.
Mexican American.
Yeah, Mexican. But he's Mexican, isn't he?
Also 112.
Oh, it's 112. Okay, it's 112.
Yeah, same here. I'm of the similar thinking. I just think it's Bam's time right now. I think he's gone. He's taking the long road. He's taking down every champion, starting with
Cuadras,
Sarangay,
Bam, Sonny Edwards,
stuff like that. So he's going to continue to do that, and I think Estrada is such a veteran, a tough guy to fight. He's very tough, but I just think it's Bam's time. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'd be very surprised if he stops him, but I'm seeing a decision victory for Bam.
Yeah, I mean, Estrada hasn't fought since he fought Chocolatito.
How long has that been?
2022, back in
Ooh.
December. Yeah, so he hasn't fought in over a year.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean,
Which could be good given
It could
his
be
age.
good.
Given
Yeah.
his age, yeah, maybe.
it could be good, but I mean, we're talking about Jesse Bam Rodriguez, a rising star, and not just a rising star, but a legitimate, fighter. So for him to take a hard fight like that, you got to be on your game. Is he gonna be rusty? Is he not gonna be as sharp because he's been out of the ring for so long? He could be in the gym training, but I mean, everyone knows that it's different when you're training compared to an actual fight or sparring and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see whether or not El Gallo Estrada is still El Gallo, that same fighter that he's been for over a decade now. So it's a very interesting matchup. My official prediction, I give Jesse Bam Rodriguez the win by unanimous decision.
Yeah. How old is Gallo?
22.
Damn. He's a young Gallo.
It doesn't show on BoxRec. Hold up.
Yeah, because I mean, we've known him forever, like for a long time. He's been in that division, so I'm actually curious. 34? Damn, he's not that old actually. I was expecting like 37, 38. So that's interesting. I just feel maybe it's because he's been at the top of the game for so long that I think he's a little bit older. But regardless, again, I'll say it again. Yeah, I think Bam Rodriguez is gonna win this fight. Relatively easy. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's gonna outclass El Gallo because I'm completely sold on Bam. I think he is the next generation, the future of the division. So I'm expecting a UD decision win against Gallo.
So we all said UD.
Oh, I said decision.
Decision. Okay, so we all have Jesse Bam Rodriguez to not destroy, to beat a third,
Demolish.
obliterate, retire. We have Jesse Rodriguez defeating Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada this weekend, so it should be a very good fight. Fight for the Mexican fans and a fight for all boxing. So I'm eager to see that matchup. But we got, I guess, an even bigger matchup. We have the return of Teofimo Lopez, man, as he takes on Steven Cloget.
Ooh.
Who?
Steve Cloget.
Who?
Steve Cloget his record stands at 38 wins, 7 losses, and 2 draws, with 26 of those wins by way of knockout.
38-7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Teofimo Lopez just wants a quick and easy win, man.
I mean, Teofimo claimed that Steve is the only fighter who stepped up to challenge it.
Okay, that's a damn
Supposedly.
lie.
That's a lie.
That's a big lie. Teofimo Lopez. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people at the 140 that want to fight Teofimo Lopez. This is an interesting fight. I don't know that much about. I don't know nothing actually about Steven Cloget. Cloget. Yeah, I don't know nothing about him. From his record, it doesn't scream the best record. I've never heard of him. I'm sure this is his first step up, fighting for a world champion. And he's going up against Teofimo Lopez, who is one of the strongest champions at the 140 division. So I'm expecting a quick and easy night for Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, me too. For me, I think it's really interesting that he decided to take this route. I don't really believe him when he said that none of the other champions or none of the other contenders wanted to fight him. Subriel Matias, before he lost his belt, was calling him a chicken. No, I think he was calling Rolly a chicken, but he was calling...
Un cobarde.
Yeah, he was calling him a coward and whatnot. But what I find very interesting is that I feel like this is just a confidence booster for Teofimo Lopez, which I think is really crazy, given his last fight, his last outing against Ortiz. He didn't look the best. He didn't perform, the way he wanted to, especially the way he walked into the ring. He had a whole circus behind him, because it's the takeover.
It's the Showman.
It's the Showman.
Yeah.
The greatest showman ever, apparently. But I think this is just a confidence booster. So I'm expecting a quick victory, a highlight KO reel, and then for him to, and then I want to see him later on in the year.
And then do an emo after his opponent is fighting for breath. He's just emoting right on top of his dead. Yeah,
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
I mean, Steven Cloget, from what I can see, his best name is Petros Ananyan. the man who defeated Subriel Matias first.
Oh yeah, Nanian,
Yeah, he beat him by UD.
Oh, Cleggett beat him.
Yeah,
oh,
Cleggett, that's, I think from what I can look at right now, it's his best name in his resume, which is not that bad of a name, for, I guess, for a fighter who we don't really, not many people are aware. He's 35 years old.
He's also from Canada.
He's from Canada, Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian. It's
Canadian.
over now.
He's gonna be too nice in the ring.
Yeah, he's gonna be too nice, man.
He'll be like, oh, did that hurt Teofimo?
I apologize.
Very nice Canadians. But yes, I'm also expecting. I agree. I think this is more of a confidence booster for Teofimo. But yeah, I think Teofimo should win by knockout. Honestly, I mean, again, I don't really know much about Steven, but I mean, yeah, you got to give it to Teofimo.
You got to give it to Teofimo. I mean, we're talking about a top guy, elite level. Mount Rushmore on the 140s. So yeah, it should be a quick and easy win, honestly.
Well, that was our prediction for Teofimo and Steven Cleggett this weekend on Top Rank. So should be a very, I guess, an interesting one to say the least. But last thing I think we want to discuss in today's episode is MisFits. We're going over to the influencer scene because MisFits announced MisFits 16 card in Miami, Florida, August 10th, headlined by FaZe Temper as he takes on Josh Buckner for the cruiserweight tournament that they're having. We also have in that card Yuddy Gang as he takes on Argentinian King, and the return of Waleed Sharks as he takes on Ace Musa. Both of those fights are for the lightweight tournament that's going on at the moment. We also have the return of OJ Rose as he takes on Samuel Erickson, who was the dude who Anthony Taylor called out when they were doing that very cringy WWE promo type of stuff. That was the man. So Samuel Erickson takes on OJ Rose. We have some women fighting Gotti and Fields, and I think a very interesting one I want to talk about, the debut of Amir Cashman Anderson. Now, before we even dive into the other fights or the headliner even, the MisFits, I can see what they're trying to do. They're diving into the actual traditional side of boxing. Amir Cashman Anderson is a 10-time national champion in the USA. He's fought internationally representing the Team USA. We're talking about a legitimate prospect who is looking to make his way into the pro scene. So, I mean, for MisFits to sign him, I mean, it tells you that MisFits is trying to dive into the traditional and trying to get with prospects so that they can more grow their brand, and this is a great thing to do, having them fight on these cards. Hopefully, my issue is I hope they don't put him up against an influencer, because that would be very bad. I don't think they will. I think they'll put him against a legitimate, I guess, pro boxer, right? When we say legitimate, it's probably like a cab driver. Yeah, but better than having them against a tradition or an influencer fighter. But I think this is a great show for MisFits, or a great signing for MisFits, as they're showing that they're trying to increase or spread their brand and trying to dive into the professional setting.
Yeah, I love this a lot. I mean, this is I think it shows influencer boxing is the future, man. I think MisFits, especially as the forefront, they're just going to continue to get more and more actual prospects that are trying to make it into the rankings. I think that's a great way to make it go into pro. Go on MisFits, why not? I'm sure they're going to pay you well. You're going to get a fan base of people who maybe aren't into boxing like that, but they can see your personality and they could see learn more about you. So I think it's actually a really good move by MisFits. It shows they're the future, and I'm excited to see how he does on the MisFits.
Yeah, that's crazy. So once these amateur these amateur prospects, if they decide to turn pro, that's crazy that they can now have like another option, like go over to MisFits and stuff like that, instead of being signed by Golden Boy, Matchroom, and stuff like that. So I think that's a good idea. I think this is new. This might be the first time
most valuable MVP. I mean, they have like H2O Ashton. They also have a couple other, and they also have their like prospect cards.
Yeah.
So,
but for MisFits,
this is the first one. Yeah, first one.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And another thing. I mean, they're gonna. This guy Anderson, he's gonna get a lot of promotion from MisFits.
Oh, dude, huge.
Because MisFits gonna be like, oh, this guy's the real deal. Hey, look at him. So if a top amateur is like thinking about going pro, I'm telling you, go ask, go to MisFits, go tell them, hey, I'm the real deal. Because if you get signed, they're gonna promote you like crazy. Yeah. You're gonna get crazy promotion.
Crazy promotion in the fan base, like you mentioned it right now, because a lot of the people who watch Misfits aren't, traditional boxing fans. They're more just the fans of the influencer. So I mean, if you see this man come in, they're like, oh, he's a legitimate pro. Like they're gonna brand him as a legitimate pro. So, and they're gonna be like, oh, like he has these are his amateur accolades, 10-time amateur champion, national champ, also like a 1-time gold medalist in international boxing. So they're gonna see that, and then if he fights good and he's able to showcase himself well, then that fan base, these casual fan bases that watch influencer are gonna be like, yo, this man's him. They're all gonna follow him. His brand's gonna increase, and now he's gonna be a bigger name than he would have been if he would have fought in like the prelims on Golden Boy or on PBC and stuff like that.
Absolutely, because the prelims on Golden Boy, there's no one in the arena, man. There is no one in there. Sometimes they're not even televised. All these shows, I mean, you go on the prelims, it's dead in there. So, in contrast, though, Misfits, they be having some pretty stacked arenas, even from the start. Because sometimes, especially when they have like a KSI or someone, usually the card is stacked. So then you can slip one in there, even in the prelims, and there's already a lot of people in the arena. So it's a good choice.
Not only that, but I feel like they don't do the best job of promoting them or marketing them, especially like Golden Boy, Top Rank. Like they may just be like, oh, making his pro debut. X amount national champion is this guy, and that's it. Like, bro, I kind of want a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like this might be a good fit for him.
Yeah.
So we have his debut that's going to be showcased on August 10th. Headliner, Face Temper, like I said, returning since his KO loss to KSI last year, as well as Josh Bruckner, who's also returning from his KO loss to Salt Poppy in that same card too. So both of them got dropped and stopped in their card. So they're both headlining this event in Miami, Florida for their cruiserweight tournament. First round for them. I mean, you have Yuri King and Argentinian King. My prediction for that, I think Yuri King's going to win. I mean, Argentinian King, last time he fought, he looked very bad against a man who was coming off of like a 6-5 day late notice. And you could say that he won that fight, bro.
Yeah.
Argentinian King was terrible. So Yuri King, I have him winning by decision because he's not a hard puncher, pillow-handed. And then Waleed Sharks, one of the most hyped fighters and influencer. The Golden Glove champion, Waleed Sharks.
The novice Golden Glove champion.
Oh my gosh,
like compare his amateur career to Anderson's amateur career.
Oh yeah,
and you'll see the difference.
No, a huge difference. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's not even comparable. That's disrespectful towards Anderson. Oh my gosh, no way. Regardless, Waleed Sharks. Are you okay, man?
My bad.
Waleed Sharks takes on Ace Musa. Ace Musa. I'm trying to remember what fights he fought in. I don't remember what fights he fought in, but I mean, I think everyone is expecting Waleed Sharks to win. He's one of the favorites of the tournament. So
it's been a while since he last fought. No,
Dean.
Yeah,
when he got whooped by
ass
Dean.
Kicked. Yeah.
Oh, terrible ass whooping, and he still has the balls to talk. Like, come on, bro. You got whooped twice.
Humble yourself a little.
Cause I remember he had an interview and he was like, oh, like if there was another round, I would have stopped Dean. You saw in that second fight, like I had him on the ropes, which it could be true because Dean for some reason he gassed out and then he got rocked.
Yeah, he get clipped.
And he was holding on to dear life at points last minute of the final round in the rematch. But like if you look at the other rounds in that fight, you were getting absolutely just hammered, brother. Like, oh my gosh, it was insane how you still have the audacity to speak like that. Like, brother, I thought you'd be at least be humble to some sense, but it doesn't seem like it. So I'm not too big of a fan of Waleed Sharks anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do predict him to win, and I think he might even win by stoppage. So that was the I guess the Misfits card in August 10th. Supposedly there's going to be 2 August Misfits events.
Oh, isn't KSI? Yeah,
KSI headlining over in Ireland. Yes, sir. So
where's this card at?
Miami,
Florida. Florida. Okay.
First thing is gonna be pretty empty because USA cards here or Misfits cards in the USA are absolutely bad. And 2, I mean. I think it's gonna be empty.
It's not a crazy headliner.
No, it's not a crazy head. Like Face Temper and Josh Buckner. Like I don't know.
Maybe all the Phase members will come out. You know,
maybe right.
Support.
Malik Scott. I think trains Temper.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
Okay.
Huh. So maybe Deontay Wilder shows up. He's like, "Yo, what's good, yo?"
Bomb Squad.
Yeah. They have him as the announcer.
Maybe we see him get into the Misfits, bro. You never know, man. The deadliest puncher in Misfits history.
No, Chase
Oh, no.
Chase Demore
He's
taking
going
on
for the world
Deontay
title.
Wilder.
Jesus.
Well, Temple Arts is the heavyweight.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, Temple
He is a
Arts
heavyweight.
taking on the Bronze Bomber,
Bronze Bomber.
Deontay Wilder.
Who
No.
wins? Traditional boxing or influencer boxing?
Well, I think Temple Arts has a chin on him, and
In
Deontay
the
Wilder.
stomach.
that's why he could take the power.
Yeah, he's like a
flows through
Tyson
him.
Fury.
Exactly.
So I'd have to edge it towards Temple
Temple,
Arts
Temple.
taking out Deontay Wilder.
I think he has better fundamentals too. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, that was the Misfit 16 card that was announced this weekend. I think we covered everything for today's episode. Let us know down below. Are you excited for that card? As well as letting us know your prediction for Estrada as he takes on Bam Rodriguez, as well as Teofimo Lopez as he takes on Steve Claggett. And tell us about what your thoughts about Ryan Garcia and his suspension from boxing. Are you sad? Are you gonna cry about it? Let us know down below. Or are you still gonna hate on Devin Haney? Come on, bro. Like, grow up at that point. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as follow us on all forms of social media. We are on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Lastly, don't forget to join our Discord. We're trying to build up a community, so you guys joining and interacting with us is very helpful to our brand. And I think that's good. Yeah, you had me, Pablo, as well as Rudo and Asa, and this was the Last Round Podcast. Thank you for watching.